some time for it to go live. We'll start. One moment. Good. So we were on 63, we finished that, the loka. So the easiest way around for us to practice, really to practice, is just make the loka as nil. And you have to only deal with two things, Ishvara and the Jivi. So another way to look at the Jivi is that you observe the plants, or you observe the seed, and when you put the seed in the pot with mud and water and all that, if the condition is right, then the sapling will come out. Okay, and that is what Jivi is all about. So when we say I have a Jiva, it means that just like that sapling which has come, using the four elements plus taking a space. So it has Prithvi, it has Apo, it has Tejo and Vayu and Akasha. Taking that, which is part of Prakriti, this Purusha will start to germinate there. So what was mud few hours, few days ago is now a small sapling. Similarly, when the sperm and egg were to meet, same process, the mud and the environment, which is the uterus. So now these two meeting and Purusha entering into these five elements. At that time the uterus is empty, but then when this sperm and egg were to meet and a zygote happens, and then the blastocyst happens, splitting it into 2 cells and 4 cells and 8, 16, 32, 64, like that, then the germination has happened. So the germ, what we are talking, is the Jiva. So if we reflect upon like that, what we are left out is only the Ishvara. So that becomes even more easy. So the Jagat is gone, Jivi remains, and when we observe what the Jivi is, the Jivi is the one which is just taking the four elements as food all the time. So the first task, what we need to do, is to remove the Jagat, and this especially Vivekachudamani teaches about removing the Jagat through the 5 koshas, the Annamaya kosha and Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. Now beyond that is the consciousness, which is the unconscious mind, what is there. So we are only treading on the tip of the iceberg, which is the waking consciousness and the subconsciousness. These are the two consciousness with which we are just living as a fragmented being. Fragmented in the sense that we think there is somebody staying and we don't know who it is who is staying. So that is the bigger problem what we have. So this shloka, 64th one, talks about enemies. Akritva shatru samharam. Gatva khila bhushriyam Raja hamiti shabdanne Raja bhavitu marhati. So akritva shatru samharam. The shatru here is raga, dvesha and moha. Without taking the trouble to eliminate his enemies. Without bringing the entire land under his sway. Gatva khila bhushriyam. Bhushriyam means the land. Whichever land he would like to conquer. Raja hamiti. I am the king. By repeating that shabdane, just by repeating that, Raja bhavitum arhati, one cannot become a king or an emperor. So what it means here is that one needs to strive in eliminating the Jagat. If we were to keep the Jagat, then it becomes Brahman Satya Jagat Satya. So in the Jagat Satya stage, which is also true, all relationship, all anxiety, all worries, all tribulations, everything remains. So we are not doing emptying of Jagat, that is Shunya of Jagat. So the practice what we did on that day, wherein you watch which room you are sitting, and if you go to that next room, that room is empty of you. Then if you go from that room to, let's say, restroom, then you are filled up in restroom and you are not there in the other room. So at any point in time, you are able to lead in only one room. You can't be staying in a house. You can only stay one room at a time. So even though I have a 3-bedroom home or a 4-bedroom home or even a penthouse or whatever that name is called, at any point in time, the asana, that is the posture with which I am standing, sitting, sleeping and walking, 4 postures, only that is true. The other 3 are empty. In the same way, if I am eating, then I am not seeing. If I am seeing, I am not eating. If I am hearing, I am not seeing, I am not eating, I'm not smelling, I am not touching or anything like that. So one needs to watch what happens. Then we come to know the vairi or the enemy is just this raga, dvesha, moha which appears because of association with the nama and rupa, which is the Jagat. If we take this practice forward of eliminating the Jagat, even for few minutes, right now as we speak, you are left out with only Jivi. So we can then make everyone around as Jivi without names. So a saint is also a Jivi, a sinner is also a Jivi, a person who knows all of philosophy is a Jivi, a person who doesn't know anything at all as a philosophy is also a Jivi, a person who is materialistic is also a Jivi, a person who is totally spiritualistic is also a Jivi. A being which is an animal is also a Jivi, a bird is also a Jivi, insect is also a Jivi. What we can find commonality here is that only Jiva exists and nothing else. And this Jiva is not brought by you or me. It has come due to the condition. So that means we have to accept the moment at which the conception has happened. So if you are getting whatever we have got now, it has been got not due to of my effort. It is due to the punya phala or the papa phala of whatever has been done. That doesn't mean that you can sit back and relax and do that. No, that is not the intention. The intention is to get rid of the I consciousness. It says I worked hard, I walked, I did this, I did that. That is wrong. It is because of the Ishvara in Jivi, it's working. It's not because of anything else. So the 65th verse makes it very clear of that. Aptuktim khananam tayo pari yuktarkshanam svikritim nikshepah samapekshate na hi bahihi shabdaistuta nirgacchati tadvad brahma vidopadesha manana dhyanaadi birlabhyate maya karya tirohitam swamamalam tattvam na duryuktibihi. Aptoktim, instruction, khananam, on how to carry out something. Tayo yuktakshanam svikritim, that is taking the instruction from an engineer on how to carry out the excavations, which involves upari shilad. Shila is the stone. Nikshepa samapekshate. So while excavating the earth, removing the stone lying above it, first that needs to be grasped very well. Nikshepah samapekshate. Pekshate is to see. The treasure nahi bahihi shabdaihi tu nirgacchati. Just calling out the name of the treasure is not going to open up the treasure. The treasure being sought is hidden in the ground, so it can never come out no matter how much you call to it. Tadvad brahmavida upadesha manana dhyanadibihi labhyate. In the same way, the instruction of a realized saint on how to carry out reflection, manana. First is upadesha. Upadesha is how to do it. Manana is mentally looking at a strategy how you should do it. And dhyanadibihi, without meditation you cannot get it. So you need to use meditation as a tool, and for that it has to be grasped very well. Maya karya tirohitam, hidden under the delusion, or rather Maya means actually in English delusion, but Maya is more than delusion. What is real is created as an illusion, and what is unreal is created as real due to the illusory nature of self. So it has its effect. Swam amalam, the treasure which is the pure self. Amala, mala is impurity, amala is not impure. Tattvam na duryuktibihi. It is not got through debates or through discussions. You need to excavate yourself this treasure. What can be done is you can be pointed out where the treasure exists. So now to take this treasure out, the first thing that needs to be done is to remove the Jagat. That's the stone in the first place. Then you are coming into the mud region. While excavating, lot of hidden things comes out, and that is hidden in the Jivi. Then after that, all of a sudden, you will stumble upon this Ishvara, which is not all pervading one, but which is residing in you as you. And once you see that you, which is you, it becomes a vivid experience. And now you can see that everywhere this Parameshvara exists. And that's the treasure. Finding out the Ishvara is the treasure. Once that is found, everything is shown up. That means that Ishvara helps this Jivi to find all its past lives. It also helps in telling that Jivi where it is heading to. And now the question comes, should the Jivi survive or the Ishvara survive? Presently, that is what is duality is all about. Jagat Satya, Brahman Satya. So the Jivi also will survive, the Ishvara also survives. So since they both are surviving, Brahman, which is Parameshvara, is not seen. So the moment the Parameshvara, the Ishvara merges with Parameshvara, the Jivi is gone. There is no longer anything called as a Jivi because there is no Bija to again come up. So there is no fertile ground. So the karma which was creating this fertile ground no longer is able to create that. So what Shankara says is that only this much can be done, nothing else that can be done. So he says 66th verse that how to cure the disease of bondage. Tasmat sarva prayatnena bhavabandha vimuktaye svaihi eva yatnaha kartavyaha rogadau iva panditaihi. Therefore, tasmat sarva prayatnena, do all the means in your disposal. Bhavabandhana vimuktaye, to be free from bondage of Bhavabandhana. Bhavabandhana is not actually birth and death as indicated. Bhava is to become and Bandhana is because of that. The consciousness is caught up in becoming this or becoming that due to mind's extreme attachment to become something or the other. Let's say in this life I have become this, in the next life I want to become that, and that another life I want to become something else. Again I want to become this, that, something else, this, that, something else. Because in everything I become there is something which is a gap. So I would like the gap to be filled as much as possible. So that is the bondage. Bhavabandhana vimuktaye svaihi eva yatnaha kartavyaha rogadau iva panditaihi. Effort alone has to be made by one's own means. Nobody else can do it for you. So the Pandita, one who knows, will know how to cure his illness. Illness here is Jagat. So we've been speaking about the Jagat for a long time. There's a very easy way out to remove the Jagat is just watch yourself going from one room to another room. Then and there the Jagat is gone, because that is a fabrication. That is what Shunya is all about. You are devoid of the existence in that place. So let's say my birthplace is something. That is just a tagline or just a placeholder. But right now, I don't exist there. That means I'm dead there. Same way, there is another one. Like we are not going to office anymore because of this COVID. Actually, office is dead for everyone. Because we don't know what all changes have happened in the office. In the 4th floor or the 5th floor where we used to sit, it is just a memory. Reality is the place where you're sitting is the only reality. Not even your home. So you can't call your home itself as yours, because only that room where you're lighting through your body's heat is the one which is real. Everything else is Jagat, meaning the kitchen is Jagat, the living room is Jagat, the bedroom is Jagat, the lavatory is Jagat, the garden what you have outside is Jagat, the vegetable vendor who is coming here and there is Jagat, the phone calls what you are getting, if you are not picking it up, is Jagat, wife in the kitchen is Jagat, the daughter or son at home is Jagat, because you are not able to see them from your room. And even if you were to see them, they are Jivi, they are not any wife or son or daughter or husband or mother or father or whatever. They are all Jivis. They have got nothing to do with being called as something. So if that roga is gone, this roga of calling something or the other, then what remains is that we all are Jivi, who have come into existence out of our own karma. As long as Ayus is there, life exists in that body. The moment the Ayus is removed, the being ceases to exist in that body, will then move to another body along with Ishvara. The spiritual thing to be done is that stop this transmigration from one being to another being because of bhava, to become. Stop that becoming. Then there is no rebirth. And this is exactly what even Buddha talks about. The jati means birth. So bhava is the cause for jati. And when there is jati, there is jara, marana, shoka and all that. So it is the same thing. So there is nothing that Shankara is talking something else. He is perfectly placing it out that sarva prayatnena bhava bandhana vimuktaye svaihi eva yatnaha kartavyaha rogadau iva panditaihi. So let's become that Pandita who knows how to remove the Jagat, so that we have only Jivi to deal with, and Jivi is coming out of food, out of Rajas, Tamas, Sattva, and out of Raga, Dvesha, Moha. Apart from this, nothing else is there in the Jivi. So the blessing is from the Ishvara. So once we see that the Raga, Dvesha, Moha is gone, the mind automatically turns itself into Sattva. And that is also Nirjiva. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas don't have any life at all. Even the Jivi doesn't have any life. Because of Ishvara, the Jivi exists. So now you have to cut the Jivi in order to become the Ishvara, which is the unconscious mind. And once you are Ishvara, Parameshvara is just one step away. Any question? Then we can go to the Shravana.
No, it's clear.
Okay.
All three shlokas. Yeah.
Okay, now let's go to Shravana. Yahat tvaya adya kritaha prashnaha variyan shastra vinmataha sutra prayo nigoodartho gnatavyascha mumukshubhihi. The question, yaha tvaya adya kritaha prashnaha, the question which you have raised today are variyan shastra vinmataha, excellent and accepted by the well-versed in the Shastras. Sutra prayo. Actually, what is the meaning of sutra? It comes from two words, su plus atra is sutra. Su is good, atra is direction. So when we call it as aphorism in English, what it literally doesn't have any good meaning to sutra. It is that which bring goodness in the future. So all the sutras what we have, like Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and sutra also means tangle. So it helps in untangling what is tangled. And that's the reason it is called as sutra. Nigudartha, very deeper. So this one need to have the what we can say, ability to read deeper. So this is called as Pada Nirukti. Nirukti means etymology, Pada means word. A person is able to go to the etymology and go deeper into etymology to see what is the truth in that. So that is what is the meaning of Niguda. It is secret in the outside because it seems same. Just like you have Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adhyatmika. So if you take these three, Adi Bhutika with Bhuta, 5 elements and 5 senses, what can be sensed is not Niguda. Then Adi Daivika, what is taking you to divine, slightly Niguda than compared to the Adi Bhutika or Bhautika. Then coming to Adhya Atmika, Atma is this consciousness. Adhi Atma means beyond name and forms, and that is the reason it's called Adhyatma. What's the difference between religion and spirituality is, in religion you end up with 5 senses. In spirituality you begin with 5 senses. That's the whole difference between a religious working and a spiritual working. All that is grasped by five senses is in religion. All the rituals come under religion, which is required to put some order into everything. But when you come to spiritual, you have to drop off all of that, because that is the starting point. What you ended as a five senses with five elements, you are going to start from there and remove the five senses from interacting with the five sense objects, plus interaction with the five elements also. So it is in a sutra form. What it means that su plus atra is sutra, so it's good in the future. If we were to look at it, it is tangled, and as you start dropping it off, it gets into untangle, and that's the reason it becomes very nigudhartha. The meaning is so deep and so much mystical there. Jnatavyascha mumukshubhihi, they are fit to be known to people who yearn for liberation. So the 68th verse, the Guru talks, Shrunushu avahitaha vidvan yat maya samudiryate tat etat shravanat sadyah bhavabandhat vimokshaye. Listen attentively, vidwan, one who is having the knowledge, to what I shall now tell you. Listening to it, tat etat shravanat, sadyah, immediately, bhavabandhanat vimokshaye. You don't have to go step by step. What I am going to say will take you to liberation right here, right now, from the bondage. So he is saying that you need to have some qualification or requirement for liberation. Mokshasya hetuhu pratamaha nigadyate vairagyam atyantam anitya vastushu tatah shamaha cha api damaha titiksha nyasah prasakta akhila karmanam brisham. Mokshasya hetuhu pratamaha nigadyate. In order to bring about moksha, liberation, muhu aksha, opening your eyes to that which is real, the first consideration is vairagyam atyantam. So if the vairagya is not yet there for Jagat, this is not for them. If vairagya has got established to Jagat, that is for this persons. Anitya vastushu, for the finite objects of sensual enjoyment. Tataha shamaha cha api damaha titiksha. Then the person is doing shama, dama, titiksha. Nyasaha prasaktaha akila karmanam brisham. Nyasaha is sannyasa. San plus nyasaha. Nyasa is to give up. San is attachment to something or the other. So if we were to split that word, san plus nyasaha, sannyasa, or san sa plus nyasaha is sannyasa. Sa is self and nyasaha is giving up. Giving up the identity of oneself is sannyasa, which in English is called as renunciation. So you don't have to renounce anything, you have to renounce yourself. remove the jagat only, everything will work from there, because it creates selfishness by having the nyasa. Without that nyasa. So the first thing what a person should do is to have this vairagya, then shamadama uparati, etc. Then he should have nyasa. And in all karmas, akhila, every karma, every, akhila means all. Khila means exceptional. Akhila means non-exceptional. That means without exception. Karmanam brisham. Brisham means to get rid of. So karmana has to be completely got rid of. If that happens, then the 70th verse he says, what is Vedanta? Tataha shrutihi tat mananam satatva dhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe tataha avikalpam param yetya vidvan iha eva nirvana sukham samichchati. Thereafter, that is after one establishes vairagya, shama, dhamma, titiksha, nyasaha, he comes to tata shrutihi tat mananam. Therefore comes to hearing. That is, he starts with shravana, then mananam. He reflects upon in his mind and comes out with his or her own strategy of how to implement it. Satatva dhyanam chiram nityam nirantaram. And meditation is the only nididhyasana. Chiram nityam nirantaram. Chiram means long time. Yeah, but
it says tataha shrutis tanmananam satatvam. Means Vedanta Vakya Shravana, you have to do it, and then you have to do Manana, right?
Yes, correct.
This Vedanta Vakya Shravana is just in the previous, I think a day ago, 2 days ago, we were talking about all this Vedanta study has got no meaning. Now it says you have to do that Shravana, then you have to do every day. And then after that you have to Atma Aikya Chintana. This is what this sloka says.
Correct.
So that means Vedanta Shravana is the basic necessity for anybody to start, right?
From whom is the question? That
Guru Mukhena.
That this Guru, whichever Guru is, he is indicating here.
Guru who has already seen
Yes.
that Marga to Moksha.
Correct. So you are going to him. And whatever Shastra he will give, you have to do it.
Yes, correct.
Not the one what I had in my mind. See, I might be interested in Mandukya Upanishad as an example, and my Guru will say that is not what you should read. Then whom should I listen? To myself or to the Guru? I have to go by what Guru says. So you have to first find the Guru who has seen that place. Otherwise, and that is the reason he speaks about what you should not do from 51st verse onwards. So the first thing is you need to find the Guru who has seen.
So idea is to understand Atma and Atma, Vastu Viveka through Guru.
Yes.
And the starting point is the Shastra what Guru teaches us.
Yes. Not the Shastra what the students want to learn. That's a difference. Now that is
Yes.
that is the reason he says 68th verse. Now listen attentively. Shrunushu avahitaihi vidvan yat maya samudiryate tat shravanat sadyah immediately bhavabandhanat vimokshase. It is now entirely in the Guru's hand, not in Shishya's hand. He can't debate, I want to learn this or that or whatever. You want liberation, I will get you liberation. Simple.
Yeah, here Guru is, for example, Shankaracharya, Adi Guru, for this, from the
Yes.
book point of view. Whatever the message comes from him through your Guru,
You
you
follow.
understand?
You follow. So if he says studying of philosophies and all that is bad, you have to accept that yes, it is not worth it. And you have to go by what he's saying here.
Yeah. Yep.
So then I don't have a choice. And that's the reason he says only 10 Upanishad he will approve, not all the Upanishad. There are 1008
Correct.
Upanishads.
Yeah. Correct.
Now I can...
So the basic understanding is, if you do this, what do you call this? Three things: Bhagavad Gita, and then this 10 Upanishad, and maybe after that one more. What do you call it? Brahma Sutra. These three is more than sufficient. My question is, do we really need all three?
No, you don't require any of those three except for this book called as Vivekachudamani.
This is the condensed form of all.
Yes, sir. This is the essence of all Vedanta.
Yeah.
And that is what the 70th verse is all about. See, he talks about Satatva
Yes.
Jnanam Chiram Nityam Nirantaram. So whatever the Guru is teaching you, you have to follow that as Nididhyasana, which is meditation.
Yeah, Dhyanam. Satatam Dhyanam Chiram Nityam Nirantaram.
Unbroken.
Yeah. Nididhyasana.
Yes, Munehe tataha avikalpam param yetya. For such a Muni, the state free of all modification becomes supreme. Param yetya is reached. Vidvan iha eva nirvana sukham samirichati. Ultimately, that blessed soul or the blessed Jivi in this very life realizes the bliss of nirvana,
Yes.
which is nirvikalpa samadhi. So there is no vikalpa. So the difference between bhakti and jnana here again is that you reach the vikalpa and leave that vikalpa and enter into nirvikalpa by complete surrender. In jnana, you will negate all that is untrue and get into what is true. Both will take you there. It depends on your mindset. Now, having found the teacher who is from Jnana Marga, you have to accept to whatever the Jnana Marga says. That is whatever Shankaracharya says. He is the only teacher, nobody else. And now he starts with Shravana, 71st verse. Yat bodhavyam tava idanim atma anatma vivechanam tat uchyate maya samyak shrutva atmani abadharaya. Yat bodhavyam tava idanim. Firstly, this is what you ought to know. Forget all that you have known in the past. Forget whatever you have read. Forget whatever you have been told by any other guru in the past. You now listen to me only. Atma anatmam vivechanam tat ichyate maya samyak shrutva atmani avadharaya. You discriminate between the self and non-self. This will be described by me most elaboratively in the next 4 sections. Listen to it, receive it well in your mind, and drop the other things. With that, you will come out of bondage and be liberated. So, tomorrow, Monday, we will go through the Annamaya Kosha. Before Monday, we all have to drop whatever we have known in the past. Whatever books you have read, whatever you have understood, drop it off. Only Shankara will take you the flight.
Good. All the baggage is dropped.
Yeah, you drop everything.
Empty mind you come.
Yes. Okay.
So you will not have any questions to us. Relax.
You're relaxed. Yes.
I thought you were going to ask us to do something during the weekend and then come.
No, I'm saying don't attend.
I got one small tips somewhere. It is, we have natural attraction to anything. When we eat, it's about the food, my favorite food, because it is taste. So it says, instead of that, you do a meditation where you understand the negative side of that. Yes, sweet is good. That if you eat sweet too much, then it's a problem for you. So hence don't eat. Like that, you have to look all those things, attraction in the negative way. And with that approach, it is possible to keep away from your attraction.
Correct.
Jnanendriya related attraction.
Correct.
I was thinking to do that during the weekend.
Yes, you can do, including the books.
And even correct. And even food also. Food, we have to eat food exactly similar to medicine, because hunger is a disease, and it should have a proper dosage. Eat only that much. Don't eat more. Always we eat more than because of the taste.
Correct. And we have gone through all of this, but so it is nice that you will be doing it in this weekend. Good. Yeah, Padma Shri, you wanted to say something.
No, I just said easiest homework for doing good.
Yes, very easy. No, don't do anything.
Don't do anything is the toughest one.
Okay.
No, that's not the toughest. Dropping everything in your mind is the toughest.
Yes, so now tomorrow, Monday when you come, you don't have any baggage of any books, philosophy, any video, this or that or whatever. Only Shankara. Nobody else.
Shankara or Advaita?
Advaita. Better way. Okay. All right. So we meet on Monday.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.